Okay, thank you guys. So, so far we had discussed about the Docker, just introduction about the Docker, and we had done a couple of Docker exercises. And I mean, we have a few more topics to cover in the Docker, so that we will be, full-fledged going to gain the knowledge on the complete Docker. Okay, let me rename it. Day 11. So far, we are discussed about only just um, spinning up the single container and how to access the single container application. So far we are discussed. So today, so we are going to discuss about how to secure the data inside the Docker container. When I say Docker container, securing the applications, we have to configure a couple of storages, or the shared drives, or the volumes. So we have to discuss. Okay, so there is a concept called Docker volumes. So Docker volumes is one of the concept in the Docker. So that what this volumes, the purpose of the Docker volume is going to protect your data. So in order to suppose in the sudden Docker's container is going to crash, so your application is entirely going down, and you won't have a backup of the application what you had deployed into it. So the drawbacks of Docker without volumes is um, no backup of your applications, no high availability. So when your container, somebody unexpectedly deleted your containers, obviously you wouldn't get these applications, again back, because whatever the application you had developed, that is entirely crashed out. So in order to overcome the Docker wall, in order to overcome the drawback of this unexpected, behavior, so that we are going to use a concept called Docker volumes, so that we can keep sorry, so we can keep the application backup, and uh, we can use the same volume for multiple containers as well. Make use of same volume for multiple containers for high availability purpose. Okay, and you can create a multiple volumes as well, and in order to support and safeguard your applications. Okay, so how are you going to deal with these volumes? Let's go with the one example, so that you will get an idea how to protect the data with the help of Docker volumes. Okay, so we have a I'd already created a Docker, and spun up the one EC2 instance, as well as I'd installed the container, all this with the help of all the steps, because in order to uh, to save the time, because we are simply wasting the time in the every day we are uh, to spin up the Docker. So this is the Docker is already in place. So let me copy paste the steps. So just go through the Docker installation part. Okay. Hmm. Okay, that's done. If you, after all this installation part completed, just check whether properly installed or not with the help of Docker version. So if you issue Docker version, you're supposed to get the Docker version of your Docker installed one. So it means it is successfully installed your Docker installation part. Now just check the volumes, Docker volumes, Docker volume ls. It is gonna display the your volumes, existing volumes. So these are all just created so far, but I'm going to remove now. Or let it be. We will use different name conventions. Okay. So let me go through one exercise so that you will get an idea. So I'm going to create a one volume called Docker volume. So this is the syntax for creating the volume. So what is the name of the volume? DevOps volume, training volume, or let's keep it in simple, demo data. Okay. So now volume with the name demo hyphen data got created. Let's check whether volume is available. Docker volume ls. So it is going to display the how many volumes are there. So this is the one which we got created just now, demo hyphen data. Okay. Now let me create a one Nginx web server, and I'm going to attach this volume okay, to the. So here I'm what attaching demo hyphen data. So if you look at the syntax, docker run hyphen d name, what name I'm giving, I'm going to give a my name, my hyphen nginx is the name of my container, and port I'm mapping with alpha hyphen p. 80 is the internal port, 88 is the external, I mean mapping from 80 to 88 to 80. So like that, that is the, it means hyphen v for volume I'm attaching to this. What is the volume? So I'm going to give a demo hyphen data. The same exactly name you have to replicate, demo hyphen data. Okay. User. So this is mapping like this. This is the uh, local volume demo hyphen data colon in the sense whatever the things comes after colon, it is a container mapped volume. So user share nginx html is the path inside the container. So that is how it means. So we are mapping the volume like this, that is located in our local place, and so this is the inside the container we are mapping. It means whatever the contents are there inside this demo.data, it is going to reflect to the here this path, and at the end this is the name of the nginx container name. Let's enter. So we it the um, one container got created with the name nginx. So let's try. Let's check docker process state. So there should be one container needs to up. Okay, so how to access this? Just go to the public IP of this server, and what port we have to use 8080 port. 8080. So now we are able to access the within the container there is a nginx web server is running. So we are going to access like this, but I wanted to customize these applications according to my requirement. Okay, let's do a customization. um, but how to inspect whether the volume is mapped here or not? Just uh, you can inspect like this. See docker inspect and container. What is the container name? What um, my nginx name of the container. So if you inspect, you get the output like this. Just go up and check. So this is the mount path volume part. What is the name of the volume you had mapped? Demo hyphen and hyphen data is the one. And so this is the volumes. Dest destination is this one. Okay, so like that you have to debug like this. Okay, so the output is you are getting like this. It means the web server is up and running. It is serves to ready for serving the request. Now I'm going to do some modifications. um, um mkdi, where is that? Okay, I'm going to create one separate folder, custom data. Mkdir is the command to create a folder. So it is created now. Cd custom data. Now here what you have to do, you have to um, I'm going to create one HTML file. One second. Go one step back. I wanted to map this index file to custom data. Okay. Now if you ls custom data, so there is a file, and if you cat it, so this is the message which supposed to create. Hello from Nginx with the Docker volume. This is a message I'm passing into this index .html. I wanted to send this HTML to inside the Docker. Okay, I'm going to uh, create a one more container, and I'm going to make use of the same. So here This is the volume I'm going to modify because my volume is custom F1 data. There I'm, my file got stored right here, index that one. And I'm going to give one more name, uh, another name of the Docker because already created a one on Nginx, right? So that is the reason. And here I wanted to first let's see whether we are getting any error here. Let's enter. So it is clearly saying that my Nginx is already in use with the container. You have to remove or rename that container to be able to reuse the name. So let's delete the existing one. How to delete that Docker? First stop the container. What is the container name? You can use any E5D. If you just type two, three numbers also, it is gonna accept. So now it is stopped. Let me remove Docker RM container name. It is gonna remove. So now nothing is working. Docker PS. So nothing is working, right? So let's. Where is the previous one? Okay. So now I'm going to create a same name, and I'm going to push my index file from my local desktop, no, from uh, the instance what we have custom created on customized index file, right? So that file we are going to push to the container now. So we have successfully created a container. So this is the container name, and all these things are running now. We supposed to get a customized message. Just refresh this one. See, hello from Nginx with Docker volumes. That's what the message we had given, right? If you get a customer index. So if you look at this, hello from Nginx with the Docker volume. So there's the same content moved here. So these are the HTML tags, okay? For bold, if you look at the, the bold, if you wanted to display in the bold way, so you are going to define the HTML tags like that. So like this. Now, can we create a one more create container for the same, same volume? So let's create one more. Nginx 2 I'm creating. Probably same port number we cannot give again. Let's use 8000. So it got created. Docker process state. So two Nginx got created. One is my Nginx one, and one my Nginx, and one more is my Nginx 2. So how to access this one? So earlier the first one we had accessed through 880 port. Now we have to access 8000. Let's try this one. Uh, Use the same public IP with a different port number. What is the different port number? 8000. See, hello from Nginx with the Docker volume. The message is same for the both the containers. It means your content is shared between the two, two containers using the Docker volume. What volume you are given? Custom. Sorry, Docker name is Docker ls. This is the name we are given while creating demo data. Correct. See, if I am going to delete uh, one container, Docker stop, and what is the container on this one? See, now your Docker is first one is stopped, and if you remove also, I'm going to remove this one. One container got removed. This one, I think first one we had created. Oh, okay. So this one we removed. That's why you are not able to get that one. But still, your data is in safe, and you are able to access this web page because you are maintaining your all the data within your Docker volumes. Got it now, Uday, Sunil? So which is again a similar to the storage. That is how the storage using in the real-time applications. Got it? Any questions?
Sir, if the storage is stored one time, means it can be repeated twice or only once, sir. It will fix out or anything we can make the changes in that.
Yeah. If you wanted to do some modifications, you have to do modify in the volume first. Then you have to you know um, again respin of your containers. Getting?
Means we should do the process from starting onwards if we need to the modification in.
Exactly. Yeah. See, if you are doing some modification on your website, how are you going to do it? First, you have to modify in your volumes. Then you have to recreate the containers. Then only the whatever the modified things is going to reflect in the containers. Because your container is built in such a way that whatever the source is available here, it is gonna reflect in the container as well, right?
Then what about the previous data, sir? If suppose if we store 100 of lines, for example,
Hmm.
in that 30 lines are some mismatched. What about that 70? 70 is perfect now. So that 70 also gone now in the previous one. Storage in storage.
Yeah, exactly. See, you before deploying the containers, you have to thoroughly test the your volumes, right? I mean the data you are you have to thoroughly test and make sure if everything is there right, everything is up looks good, then you are going to create the containers. Until unless if you are not make sure your content in the volumes, you cannot go ahead and create the containers, right? If you are going to make it live, you have to be you know the you're supposed to be good enough with your content first.
Got it.
Got it, right? Okay. So that is how the volumes works. It is helpful during the high availability as well as the disaster recovery time. And also say the same concept is going to carry we are using in the Kubernetes as well, because there we are spinning up a lot of containers with the same data. So the syncing of data across all the containers are essential, right? Okay, and that is done. Next. So next topic is Docker Compose. So Docker Compose is again a one another tool for so far we have just created um, only one container we have created at a time, right? But what I wanted to create a multiple containers, like in a one go, I wanted to create a application server as well as the database server. So how are you going to deal with this, multi-container orchestration? So this Docker Compose comes into the picture. It is gonna provide you the keep the all the containers, multiple containers in a one YAML file. Then if you initiate it, it is going to provide a multi-container facility app server as well as the DB servers, and also it is providing the connectivity between the both the containers. Then only your application is able to communicate between your app container to the DB container. Right. So for that, mm, so I wanted to explain Docker file as well, because if you don't know the Docker file concept, that's it. You are not at all uh, gaining the knowledge in the Docker. Okay. So Docker file is again, the file by default. Docker is going to recognize the whatever the contents are written inside the Docker file. So it is gonna instruct you how to build the containers, how to map the volumes. How, I mean, you can just to define the specifications. If I look at the one created one Docker file, which has the, I mean, you are going to fetch the image Python, and you are going to create one app. Inside that app, make directory app, copy the app.cp to app, run pip install flask. So like this, you can instruct the Docker to layer down your the orchestrating the containers like this. Okay, so this one is useful when you are going to work on the real projects. You are going to define the line by line what image you are going to pull, what directory you are going to create inside the container. So what application you are going to load from your local machine to the within container, and after loading, what are all the commands you are going to install into it. And so all these instructions we can pass to the container with the help of this Docker file. Okay, so that's how the Docker file looks like. And Docker tool also, it is gonna use the Docker file instructions. Based on that, it is gonna spin up the multi containers applications. Let me check one small example if it is there, so that I can demonstrate easily. So how to check whether Docker Compose is already existing or not? Okay. By default, it is installing nowadays, but earlier not like that. You're supposed to install additionally. Um, Docker Compose example. So I'm just googling here. Mm, Let me go through a small example. Okay, we have one small example here. I'm going to create a one folder. This time I wanted to demonstrate on a small example here. So I created one Docker sys folder. I'm going to create one Docker compose file, and I'm trying to keep. Okay, how to execute this one? Docker up, Docker compose up, append. So this is gonna pull the Node-RED is one of the application image. So what it is doing? It is reading the whatever the things we are kept under the Docker Compose YAML, and it is performing the actions. It has multiple things it is gonna create. Let's check the Docker process state. So one application got created. Node-RED, right? Process state. So this is the one got created, but it got executed. What is the issue? Version is uploaded, it will be ignored. Please remove it, avoid potential conflict. Okay, container not started. But no worries. It has this image has some issue. That's why it is unable to create the. Um, it is exited. But so you can practice. I'll provide you the links. Because of the it will take some time. That's why I'm unable to proceed with that one. So I'll provide you the one link, um, which has a big example. It is gonna create a Node.js applications. You just follow the steps, okay? It is gonna create like this, and at the end you are going to you're going to expect the output like this. But how many containers we are using here? Inside we are going to create a one Node.js application, as well as it is going to install the one Redis cache memory also. Just go through. I'll provide the steps here. Or else we will, if you want, I'll cover in the next class. But let's go through the one more topic called networks. So this is what I wanted to cover um, today, so that we're gonna complete the Docker concepts. So what do you mean by Docker networks? Docker networks in the sense, whenever you are going to create a one network, sorry, container, it is gonna assign a default, default this one containers. Sorry, not container. By default, network is there. That is called bridge network. There are um, five network types are there. One is bridge, host, overlay, uh, IP, VLAN, MacVLAN. So these are all the types of networks you can observe in the containers. And what is bridge? Bridge is a default network. If you are creating any container, it is gonna create with the default network called bridge. So what is the purpose of bridge network? It is again a container network, and it allows you to it isolate the communication between the each containers, and also it allows you to connect from your host to the container. You can easily connect from your local machine to your container without any issues, but it won't allow you to communicate between the containers. Okay, because network is badged to your and host network. It is again a one more network model. It shares your host network stack without any isolation. They are not allowed with their own IP addresses, and it also it ports the bind, and it will push directly to your host network interfaces. Okay, it is dedicatedly creating one separate um, IP address to each your container. Okay, but don't worry, you are not most of the cases you don't use all these networks except the bridge. You just aware of what is the bridge network type in the container, and what is the advantages and what is the disadvantages if you are using the other networks than the bridge. Okay, so that's how I wanted to explain. But it is again is an important concept, especially in the whenever you develop developing your the real world applications. So networking plays a very important role in order to communicate the applications containers to the DB containers. So only it should allow only from the one container to another container. So those sort of the connection is establishing through the networks, Docker networks. So that's what I wanted to explain for the Docker. And one more concept is there, that is, just I'll give you a heads up. Okay, don't worry. Docker, Docker gallery, I think. One more concept I would like to explain. Docker Hub. So Docker Hub is again it's a it's a cloud repository for the especially for Docker images. So whenever we are trying to pull the Docker images, it is by default it is fetching from the Docker Hub only. So if you look at the Docker Hub, so this is the Docker Hub. If you wanted to customize your images, because not you should not always fetch the images from the public. That is not the best practice. You have to create your own images during the especially in the real applications development. You are going to create your own images and you are going to make use of this. Okay, that's what this Docker plays an important role. um, Docker so this is, so it looks like this. You can create your own images and you can push the images like this, and you can reuse the same sort of images, but you have to sign up and you have to provide your login details so that you are going to get this. Okay, just know the concepts. So this is the Docker Hub URL. But how to pull this one? You can pull with the help of the name. Docker pull, and I'm giving my image. You have to provide the tag name also. What is this? Okay. Yeah, see, Docker pull. If you give the tag name like this, you are going to pull the respective images like this. Okay. And if you wanted to pull this one, my flask, you can just define this image, flask image, pull. You are going to pull like this because this is my customized image, and I pull to the my repository. Okay. So that's how that is how you are going to play with the Docker hub, and how to if you wanted to log into your Docker hub, Docker login, you have to provide your credentials. Okay, Docker login IPNU. So it is prompting the password. Um, Let me provide the. You can provide the token once you create the token. I'm just providing the token. See, now login success. Now I'm able to Docker pull push. All this can be done through the easily. I mean, I can push my tags as well. So let me push one tag. Um, Docker push and what is the tag? And what is the image I wanted to push? My engine is already existing. Let's try what is this 15. Not to push a new tag to the repository. You have to use this one. So I wanted to first tag this one. Okay. So let's first check the how to tag it. So I can tag any one image like this with the help of this command. Let me make use this one. Copy trainings and I'm giving image name as Postgres. Postgres Docker image tag. What is this? Source image and target image. Docker image tag. Some syntax issue. But don't worry. So these are advanced concepts. Okay. Just know that we can create our own images and we can push to the Docker up repository, and we can make use of the same images. Okay. So that is how I wanted to demonstrate with the help of Docker Hub. And one more, I'll just give an eye level. There is a GUI called guide, uh, gallery, I think. Docker Swarm, yeah. So Docker Swarm is the one of the tool which is option available. Um, so you can make sure you can do all the operations work through the your GUI part as well. Docker Swarm. It is again advanced topics. You just know about it. You don't need to practice. Okay. So um so far we have most of the topics we have covered, but only thing you guys needs to do your hands-on part so that you will get a more familiar with the Docker concepts. And any questions so far, Uday, Sunil?
Good question.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
You could write.
Good, good.
Yeah. So let me stop my screen, recording.